Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you all today. I'm Jen and I'm from PwC's VR AR team, and today I will be talking to you about what we're doing in virtual and augmented reality and how we are using this technology to help transform businesses and solve problems, particularly in how we are revolutionizing training. Cool. So welcome to 2020. We're nearing the end of quite the year and we're living in a tremendously different world today. The world of work is changing rapidly and 2020 has only accelerated these changes. Companies are, however, facing a dilemma. So we need to upskill our workforce. Training has never been more important, and it is essential employees are learning and developing, but we can't do that in person anymore. So how can we deal with this challenge? Our global CEO research has shown that 74% of CEOs are concerned about the lack of availability of the right skills, yet only 17% of CEOs can say that their upskilling programs have been very effective. So given the world that we're currently living in, we believe it is absolutely essential that in today's rapid pace of change, we're seeking new and innovative ways of working to support a business culture that is collaborative, inclusive, and productive in a virtual world. Cool, so what's our solution? Our solution is virtual reality and in particular, immersive learning. So we are particularly focused on revolutionizing the way we learn and train, and ultimately how we engage, collaborate, and upskill, setting a foundation for the future of work and collecting unique data insights to prove impact 100% virtually. So let's start with the how. How is virtual reality redefining training, and how does VR measure up as a training tool for those and other soft skills? So earlier this year, we set out to answer this question with our study that examines the impact of using VR to train soft skills. Selected employees from a group of new managers in 12 US locations took the same training designed to address inclusive leadership in one of 3 learning modalities, so classroom, e-learn, and vLearn, which is learning in VR. And the results were overwhelmingly positive. The study showed that VR can help business leaders upskill their employees 4 times faster. So what took 2 hours to learn in the classroom was learned in only 30 minutes using VR. VR learners were more confident in applying what they were taught. So when learning soft skills, confidence is a massive key driver of success. And in difficult circumstances, such as having to give negative feedback to an employee, people generally wish that they could practice handling these situations in a safe environment. And with VR, they can just do that. They are 3.75 times more emotionally connected to the learning content. So people connect, understand, and remember things much more deeply when their emotions are involved. So simulation-based learning in VR gives individuals the opportunity to feel as if they've really had a meaningful experience. V learners were 4 times more focused in VR than in an e-learn. So I suppose today's learners can often be impatient, distracted, and overwhelmed. And many learners won't necessarily watch a video for its duration. And on top of that, smartphones are a leading cause of interruption and distraction. And lastly, VR is 52% more cost effective than traditional classroom training. So the value that VR provides is unmistakable when used appropriately. And in our study, we found that when delivered through enough learners, VR training is estimated to be much more cost effective at scale than classroom or e-learning, because VR content is, initially requires a greater investment, it is essential to have enough learners to help make this approach cost effective. And you can find out more about PwC's soft skills training study on our website. So to further add some more statistics, our economic research report, Seeing is Believing, has shown that extended reality technologies have the potential to add £1.4 trillion to the global economy by 2030, and in particular, learning and development as a compelling VR use case. We estimate that VR training will contribute 265 billion to the global economy by 2030. Great, so now let's have a look at how we are helping to revolutionize training with VR. So we're using virtual reality to hold immersive and experiential training sessions, which basically allow participants to interact and practice soft skills in a simulated real-world environment. And we found that by practicing in VR, it often leads to increased confidence and empathy in real-world scenarios, particularly in moments that matter. So leadership and communication skills are more critical than ever as workforce disruption accelerates. And we have an off-the-shelf list of modules and experiences that hone skills for specific training needs and cover the below. So our sales and customer service role modules really allow you to practice difficult conversations, to provide better employee feedback, and to learn and lead teams and develop critical verbal communication skills. And our diversity and inclusion modules, you can really empower employees to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, to really understand unconscious biases. And VR is proving to be extremely powerful for experiencing such difficulties, and hence really truly educates and drives a collaborative, inclusive culture. So where have we done this before? These photos are from a VR experience that we delivered for a client for 100 of its senior leaders, and it was a large behavioral change piece with a focus on culture. The feedback being that it was extremely effective in engaging leaders and identifying issues that drove a rich conversations in tackling these areas. Cool, so I'm going to share a video next. We'll do half of this video, but it's a good idea to kind of see how visceral this technology is.
Might need to share it in a Chrome tab separately, Jennifer, if it doesn't come up very well. Okay, no.
Is it coming up?
Small. I think it's because you're sharing your screen rather than trying to share it in the Chrome tab.
Okay.
Establishing trust is essential to giving effective feedback. If the person you're giving feedback to feels they're part of a collaborative discussion, they will be more receptive to what you're saying. In this module, we'll focus on 4 strategies you can use to build trust: establishing psychological safety, using reflections, normalizing experiences, and seeking to understand the situation. Psychological safety describes an environment in which people feel comfortable taking risks. Admitting you made a mistake can feel vulnerable, and most people aren't willing to take that risk unless they know their honesty won't be used against them. To start a conversation in a psychologically safe way, use a collaborative approach rather than an authoritarian one by asking the other person a clear question. Let's try role-playing a feedback conversation together. Here's my status report for this week.
Thanks for this. How are you doing?
That isn't the best way to initiate a feedback conversation. While it may put me at ease, it allows the conversation to go off topic. Let's try that again. Here's my status report for this week.
I'd like to talk with you about your status report. Is this a good time?
That's a great way to start a conversation in a psychologically safe way. Asking permission with a specific question helps me to feel empowered. Now that we've practiced establishing psychological safety, let's learn about using reflections. Reflections are a tool you can use to establish trust. To offer a reflection, simply restate, in your own words, the emotion or thought the other person has shared. This demonstrates that you are listening. It can also be helpful to check if you've understood what they're trying to communicate by asking a short question like, do I have that right? I just don't feel comfortable collaborating with my new team.
Maybe we can try some team activities to help everyone get to know one another.
Trying to fix the problem before knowing what the core issue is doesn't help me feel like you're trying to understand what I'm going through. Let's try that again. I just don't feel comfortable collaborating with my new team.
It sounds like there's difficulties transitioning to this team. Do I have that right?
This is a great way to make me feel heard. You paraphrased what I said, which let me know you were listening. Now that we've had some practice using reflections, let's try normalizing. Normalizing what the other person is.
Okay, so the video is pretty long, but this is the effective feedback in VR learning series that really helps leaders and managers simulate feedback conversations. So it's all really focused around developing the communication skills needed to deliver effective feedback, and you have a range of role play scenarios that you can put your skills to practice, and then obviously gain learner performance and skills analysis. So as you can tell, it's pretty powerful. This is a CGI-based avatar training scenario, but you can also do things in 360 video. So you can have your actual managers and people that you would be talking to role play that in real life. So yeah, there's a lot of different types of creativity that you can do, yeah, it's pretty powerful. But like I said, it's an extremely visceral technology. So by putting the headset on, this is probably as close as you can get to experiencing it. If we look at the next slide, so this is another one of the use cases. So we're also using VR for more focused and practical training, such as job simulation training, which is specifically designed to help you really learn and master a practical skill, and practicing this in a completely safe and simulated environment. So there's a quick video to show you here.
Welcome. In front of you is an electric car engine, which seems to have a fault with one of the ignition units. The problem could be a burnt fuse. Let's guide you through the steps to replace it. Then use it to remove the burnt fuse. It seems like we're good to go.
Hey, Alex. Okay, yes. See here? This is where the air filter is.
Great. So as you can see there, one of our developers was demoing that experience in the HoloLens, and it was all around teaching you how to fix a burnt fuse in a car engine remotely. So that again is something that can be applied to lots of different, I imagine lots of different types of roles. But again, it's, you know, revolutionizing how we collaborate remotely and how we learn and train remotely too. And the last area I wanted to cover was collaborative reality. So this is something we've really focused a lot on recently in light of COVID, and this is where we are holding multi-user meetings and workshops where people can collaborate in real-time immersive environments, and it's particularly useful for remote conferences, meetings, workshops, and onboarding. So I'll play a little video to show you too. Great. So as you can see, that's virtual collaboration. We're doing a lot of meetings and workshops in that environment, and it's extremely powerful because you really do feel like you're there in the room with other people. I mean, we can't obviously, you know, see our colleagues at the moment, but you know, you can put a headset on and feel like you've just been transported into a virtual office or wherever you want to be meeting, and it gives you that sense of closeness and connectedness with other people, which is yeah, amazingly powerful too. So yeah, so I suppose, you know, essentially virtual reality is completely revolutionizing kind of how we train and collaborate. But what are the true benefits of VR training? Immersive VR training is repeatable, it's scalable, and it's measurable. And you know, you can get hands-on collaboration anytime, anywhere. It's super immersive, virtual experiences for any size of group in real time. You can upskill and train entire divisions and help them get up to speed quicker. And it's a complete leap from classroom training. And it really enables you to connect and collaborate with fewer distractions and more focus. Ultimately, virtual reality is helping us save time, it's more efficient, and it also reduces any safety risks. And finally, it's saving costs, especially when deployed at scale. And we believe that virtual reality is going to help really drive a new age of learning and development and education. And you know, this is all done through delivering cost-effective, immersive, and efficient experiences to train people in both hard and soft skills. Cool. So finally, this is how we're taking clients on the VR AR discovery journey. You know, we really believe in a future with blended learning. So whilst VR is not going to replace classroom or e-learning training anytime soon, it really should be a part of most companies' blended learning curriculum. Virtual reality learning differentiates itself by combining the elements of our BXT experience, where we bring business expertise to tackle these challenges, a human-centered experience, and the right technology to boost productivity without sacrificing quality. So ideally, an entire team would take this training and then have follow-up discussions to determine how they could apply the learned skills to their jobs. But you know, we bring PwC's business and technology experts together with in-house content developers, headset providers, and management tools to explore, design, test, and scale extended reality experiences to truly bring value. And we start with a demo, and then we define the use case and pilot this to assess its feasibility. And if all goes to plan, you know, we help you scale and completely transform your business. So I hope this is some food for thought, and we're really excited about the future of VR in learning. That was just a little glimpse into what we're doing here and how we're using VR to really transform training. For any further information, or if you think there are any opportunities to deploy VR training, or if you have any questions, please do reach out to Jason or I. Yeah, thank you so much.